history. You hear about this and you read about that. I don't want to look at Grumpy Cat. This is how to watch TV. What's that I hear? You hear the Lost finale. It's not your fault that you can't see what we see. This is how to watch TV. On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV. On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV.
Chronologically Lost with Joel and Jenna. My name's Joel.
My name is Jenna. We're brought to you by Comeuppance Network, and you can find all of our social media links at thisishowtowatchtv.com.
That is accurate. I liked the mood that the Lost medley was setting in the background, so I'm just gonna let it play for a little bit at the beginning, and real soft in the background. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but the subtler the better. Episode 92. Another good episode.
Very good.
I am stunned at how good the end stuff is.
It's very, very
Was
good.
it the sideways that sucked?
I think it was because we were so thrown off by, is this a forward? What the hell is this? And I think we were so intrigued by what's going on off the island that we didn't really care about what was going on island at this point in time. I don't know. It was so weird.
Yeah, I mean, there was some
Because
disconnect.
we hated the temple, and it's freaking awesome.
It was really, really good.
So-
Yeah. If you hated the temple, change your opinion. Go back, watch the temple
Right.
in this order. I'll send you that. I'll tell you which episodes to check out. So let's see. This one covered 2007, the island, days 7 to 8. So again, I can only presume because there was not two. No, there were two darknesses in this day, weren't there?
I don't
It started
remember.
in darkness. So what I'm thinking is that it was dark. That was the end of day 7.
Right.
And then they woke up in day 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So in the jungle, Ben is running and trips, and he sees people with torches, and it's Alana and them. They ask about Saeed, and he's like, well, he killed Dogan and Lennon. He was standing over their bodies with a bloody dagger, so...
Yeah, so I don't think he's with us.
Yeah. And then they confusedly discuss why they weren't safe at the temple, like they thought they were, I don't know, that's all I just heard that, sort of. We were supposed to be safe there. Ben suggests going to the beach, and Miles asks what the smoke monster is. And it's what killed everyone. And Jacob, and he's like, sure.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, Jacob too, totally killed Jacob.
Yeah.
And then Alana's like, well, let's just check that theory. Miles, could you do your thing and tell me how Jacob died? And Linus plays dumb. He's just like, and then Miles goes, he was standing over their body with his body with a bloody dagger. So exactly what Ben had said about Saeed. So boom there, Ben.
I was kind of
busted.
surprised that Miles busted him out. I mean,
Miles does not seem to have an agenda.
he doesn't have an
Other
alliance
than-
with anyone.
Right. That's what I meant to say. An alliance more so than an agenda.
Yeah,
he
he
does
just-
have an agenda. It's his own, but
Yeah. But so does, Sawyer has his own agenda as well, but he still is kind of loyal to people.
yeah. Well, Sawyer's,
I get
he
that-
seams to have pulled back as much as he could. Now
Yeah.
he's being sucked right back into it. It's starting
And I
to
get
feel
that
like
nobody
season 1
should feel
stuff.
like they owe anything to Ben. I understand that, but it just
Right.
seemed kind of weird for him to just, he did it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, of all the people, Ben can fuck off the most at this point.
guess.
To the people on the island.
You still feel bad for him.
When?
Right.
Maybe later, but not at this point. Because he did kill Jacob and he's lying. So, yeah, I don't feel bad for him, really. Not
Okay.
yet. When he asks for forgiveness is when I
Yes,
forgive him.
okay.
It's the only way it works with people. People don't fucking realize that in real life. You can't be forgiven by somebody until you fucking ask them to be, because that means you're sorry for the shit you did. They're never just going to get over shit unless you say, hey, I'm sorry about that thing. Or what, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, people aren't willing to just do that.
But he wasn't going to
because they don't wanna
apologize
look like
before
bitches,
anybody
you know?
knew. Like, why would he tell somebody? Like,
Because that would have given him the goodwill.
that was me.
Because that's how you
I killed
how you
Jacob.
get people to like you, is to fucking be honest, and you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, that's how you get
Okay.
You know, you make human connection like that. If he had said, I killed him, I was so confused, she would have accepted it just like she did a little bit later.
I guess.
You know,
Maybe.
but he took the hard path, which
I
is
feel
the
like
Ben
it was so
way.
fresh at the beginning that she would have just stabbed him and it would have been over with.
She would have been so angry.
Yeah.
She was probably hungry, so she was probably hangry at that point.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen anybody eat in days.
And she says Jacob was the closest thing she had to a father. I mean, supposedly was going to be the father at some point, as we discussed, but didn't pan out in the show.
That's because he was like younger than she is.
I thought that was a cool. He's immortal, though. Well,
he looked younger.
He was ageless.
Okay.
Let's say that. We go to the opening loss there. I thought that was a good opener.
It was very good.
Like, oh, shit.
Him running through the jungle, like, oh.
Yeah. Day 8 at the beach camp. Alana is clearly running shit at this point. Miles is giving her shit for suggesting a fire. Oh, yeah, that'll fix everything. Let's just start a fire. Ben asks what he should do. She's ignoring him while she's stripping out wire from the things. How is there still wire? Like, that much wire is just in the door.
Oh, there's still tarps.
Oh, there are plenty of tarps. Tarps are us.
Yeah.
Fucking
they
everywhere.
They went to the tarp store and they left the shitty extra tarps on the beach.
He tries to discredit Miles, and Frank's like, man, you make friends easy.
Yeah.
Again, he's still just going the other way with it. He's leaning into old Ben. Oh, I can talk my way out of this. No, you can't. You can't fucking talk your way out of shit anymore. Son wants to find Jin, and Alana's like, I want to find him too because of your last name. You know, both of you being candidates and all. There's only 6 of you left, by the way. So just like laying it out for Son. And she's like, candidates for what? To replace Jacob.
Yeah.
I mean, we know this, but that is the first time she's heard it, isn't it?
That's the first time Son would have heard it.
Right. I mean, it's just beautiful in the background. In the jungle, Hurley's dreaming about cheese curds. Cheese curds. What?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Jack wants to head to the temple. Hurley wants to eat, so they take their time. He's stalling. God, I got it.
Oh, hashtag Nat dead.
The hashtag Nat dead? That's a terrible one. I love it. That's one of the worst hashtags we've ever... That's up there with Borfer.
Oh, no way. Borfer was the best.
Borfer?
Yes. Hashtag Borfer, hashtag Nat dead.
Hashtag Nat dead.
I'm making you a shirt.
I will wear a hashtag Nat dead shirt. I'm in. Could you make me my other shirt that I've been asking about for a goddamn week?
For that.
Right. Who's got 4 minutes that they can do
4 minutes? I have to edit the logo.
Why would you have to edit it?
Did you send it to me?
Exactly as is.
It doesn't have a white background?
No.
Okay.
It's the Dharma logo with my
all right, we'll see.
In the middle.
We'll just see.
We have to make sure that it's
Let me
version
just,
2.
I got to write down hashtag Nat dead.
Well, when you watch the episode back, I'm sure you can. You'll remember it then. You're just blocking your face with.
I know that's the point.
Oh, okay,
what?
Excellent. Let's see. So.
GNAT.
Yes, Gnat dead.
So good.
So Hurley wants to take a shortcut. He's still stalling. Jack doesn't. Richard tells him they're both wrong.
Why is he stalling? I don't even remember.
Because. Well, I just don't think he wanted to go back to the temple.
Okay.
I don't know. Was there something? Fuck, now I feel dumb for not having an answer to that question.
I didn't notice that he was stalling, so I thought he was just hungry. And
I mean, Jack even called him on it eventually.
Oh.
Jack's like, he says that Richard doesn't want to tell Jack yet where they came or where he came from, but he's like, "Come on, let's go to the temple." And
I thought
Jack doesn't trust Richard, but at least he's not stalling, is what he said to Hurley.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah, but he was, because he lied and took them somewhere else. He didn't take them back to the... He's like, oh, the temple's this way.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't.
So I guess I never caught on to the fact that Hurley was stalling.
Yeah, he for whatever reason, I really don't know
Maybe
why.
he was thinking that Jacob was going to come to him and tell him what to do next, because he was kind of teed off that they went out to the lighthouse and then Jack broke the mirrors and there was really nothing that came of that as far as what they were supposed to be doing.
It got Jack on the path he needed to be to eventually take over the island.
Yeah, I don't think that Hurley felt like he knew what he was supposed to do next. So maybe he was just
Oh, no,
stalling
absolutely.
to meet up with Jacob again. I think maybe that's what he was hoping for. I don't know. Because I didn't notice that he was stalling.
Okay. At the beach camp, Ben is looking through Sawyer's tent, and there's a book in there called The Chosen. I thought that was kind of interesting, considering the candidates. He finds a bottle of water, and Ben remembers Oceanic breaking in half like it was just the other day. And Frank's like, "Are you nostalgic about that? Are you thinking fondly back to that moment now?
Right.
You yearn for those days, huh?" Frank overslept on the day of Oceanic 815, and he's like, "Yeah, the island still got you in the end." Good point. I mean, it did.
Twice.
It course corrects, you know? Oh, yeah, twice. Alana puts a gun to Ben's head and takes him to the graveyard, and she ties him to a tree and tells him to dig his own grave. That's a great punishment. The mind fuck of that.
Yeah.
Having to dig your own grave.
I mean, Ben's been put in that dig your own grave situation plenty of times, kind of like, I mean, not necessarily in that exact scenario, but like, okay, you're going to die. And you're going to have to just wait here patiently until you die.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but it just never seems to happen.
And Miles mocks him for the speed he's digging. Like, why would you be in a hurry?
Right.
Miles brought him food. He's not hungry. And then Ben tries to con his way out of it again with the $3.2 million thing. And Miles is like, I don't need money. There's he said a couple of jabronis over there dead named Nikki and Paolo who got buried with $8 million in diamonds on them. So he dug that up.
Yeah, he
and
did.
Nobody said anything.
I mean, was anybody paying attention?
To him digging up a grave? I mean, first of all, it would have been a couple down from Ben. She was staring at Ben pretty hard. When the fuck did he do that? Or had he already done it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think he did it during.
And why didn't they show us when he did it?
I know. Well, because that would have been gross. It had to smell bad.
Yeah.
Because they've been years dead now at this point.
Right. Yeah, at least 3 years. Ben was asking about how Jacob felt about him, so to speak, and Miles says Jacob, right up until the moment he was killed, thought that, he was hoping that he was wrong about Ben. And Alana shoots at Ben's foot to keep him, digging there. But the realization he had that, like, oh shit, really? Like, he right up until the end assumed he was wrong about me, but I guess he wasn't,
Right.
I mean, Ben has to fucking change or nothing's ever going to change. In the jungle, Hurley asks Richard about why he looks the same as 30 years ago if he's not time traveling. He's like, it's not easy to explain. Yeah, no, it's super easy to explain.
Very easy.
Jacob touched me and said I wasn't going to age. That's it.
Jacob touched me.
Right. That needs to be a shirt. How is that not a shirt?
No, that's
Make
gross.
me a shirt that says Jacob touched me.
No.
Yes,
that's
with
so
the foot
gross.
on it. With the four-toed statue.
Oh.
Come on.
I mean, send me you can design it.
I will. I'm going to can you write that one down too? Jacob touched me.
No, that's really gross.
You just don't want to write it in case Jeremy reads it. Who's Jacob?
Jacob touched me.
They arrive at the Black Rock. He lied because everyone at the temple is dead. He doesn't really know what happened. Hurley didn't want to go back because Jacob hinted at what was going to happen. That's why. Jacob told him that this shit's going to go down at the temple. Don't go back.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Oh, duh. We saw it. Jacob literally said to him, needed to get you guys as far away from the temple as possible. Some bad stuff's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Richard says, whatever Jacob said, don't believe him. So he thinks the smoke monster is pretending to be Jacob.
Oh.
That had to be what he assumed, right? That the smoke monster was taking the form of Jacob too.
Yeah, but
to talk to Hurley because he was dead.
But his body was not there. So how could the smoke monster?
Because he died on the island. We never saw Richard. I mean, we never saw Christian Shepherd's body on the island.
But his body is there, or in the water. But Jacob's body is literally non-existent. So the only way
he doesn't physically take the body.
No, but
the person had to die there, as far as we know. But he's not doing it, so it doesn't really matter. We don't have
the only way that Jacob is appearing right now is to Hurley, who can see dead people, and the smoke monster as little Jacob.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And Sawyer as little
But you're
Jacob.
saying Richard Alpert is saying don't believe Jacob because he thinks
Jacob that is talking to Hurley after Jacob died, he thinks Hurley's being fooled by the smoke monster. That's just my opinion there.
Okay.
Richard says he's trying to die. We quickly cut to Ben still digging, and then we're right back at the Black Rock. Richard goes inside. He finds the chains he was chained up in. Jack asks if he's been here before. Yep, this is his first time back. He finds the dynamite. Hurley comes in, and Richard's just casually messing with the dynamite, and Hurley thinks it's going to be another arst situation.
You have some arst on you.
Right. Richard can't kill himself even if he tried, he says, and he wants them to do it for him. So he says Jacob touched him, and when Jacob touches you, it's a gift. But it's not a gift at all. It's a curse. Why'd you even phrase it as a gift then? Is it because everything has to be a gift and a curse? It can't just fucking be one or the other? I hate that. I hate stupid colloquialisms like that where people just say the same phrases and they don't really mean... Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, you know? Those stupid phrases where it's like, you know...
Hashtag curse gift.
Oh, God. Hashtag gift curse.
No.
Fine, curse gift.
It's so hard to say.
Richard wants to die because he devoted his life in service of a man who told him everything was happening for a reason, a plan that he was a part of, and when the time was right, he'd share it with him. And now he's dead. Never told him. Do you think that Jacob was ever going to tell Richard Alpert part of the plan?
No, and I really thought that Richard Alpert was saying don't believe Jacob because he was just mad at him. Not that he thought that it was a smoke monster, but because he was like, fuck Jacob, don't believe anything he says, he's a freaking liar. Like,
but he did make him live forever. He did make him stop aging.
But he kept saying that he was going to tell him what the plan was, and then he died, to where now he can never tell him.
It is possible that he was just angry with Jacob and thought he was a liar by the end.
Right.
But I don't know.
No, I like your idea of him thinking it's a smoke monster. I just it didn't cross my mind.
Right. He says he just found out his entire life had no purpose, and he tells Jack to light the fuse. And Jack lights it and sits down. He's like, oh, let's talk. Yeah, now, let's talk right now. Jack tells Hurley to go. He doesn't think either one of them are going to die. And he tells Richard about the lighthouse. And Jack doesn't have any idea why. Talk for a second.
Why? Why am I talking?
Somebody left the goddamn fridge open.
I thought I heard some ringing, but I just wasn't sure if it was my ears or, I'm going to blame Echo. Joel has a dog named Echo, and she likes to chew on rocks.
Nope, lick.
Sorry.
Drool.
No, she bites them and carries them around.
She carries them around, then drools on them.
Just like
rests her tongue on
the
it,
tongue.
and it just saliva pours off of it.
It's just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, her whole face gets gross, and yeah. Why did that go away? Was that good timing or what? No, it's still recording. Okay.
All right.
Strange.
But now we're not going to know if it stops recording. Oh.
I mean, I have to stop recording to find out. I can't get to the control.
Well, whatever. Then we'll just finish. We don't have much longer. The people listening are so excited.
Right. This is all so riveting right now. So, let's see. Oh, Jack has no idea why that he was watching him at the lighthouse and blah, blah, blah. But if he went to all that trouble, it's not going to end with Jack blowing up.
Right.
And he doesn't think he's wrong, and the fuse goes out. And he's like, want to try another stick? Richard is now on Team Jack, who seems to have all the answers. And Jack wants to go back where they started. So we go back to where they started, to the beach. Although it's not technically where they started, because they started at the crash site beach, and they're at the camp beach now. But anyway, we'll let that little indiscretion go. I was going to say, this is starting to feel more like season 1. The on-island stuff now.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, Sawyer's getting roped back into it. And you know what I mean? Like, those kind of things where, like, they're bonding again in their groups.
Right.
It'll be nice if and when they all
Can't
merge.
wait to see Kate and Sawyer and Jack all in the same place.
Yeah?
It'll be so exciting.
You're excited about that? They were just in the same place at the temple.
I mean, whatever. There's... Like,
but that didn't feel the same. You know what I mean? Once they left the temple, now it's like, okay, they're out on their own. They're going to start looking out for each other again to some degree. So Ben is digging.
I feel like Kate's always just looking out for herself.
Yes. Ben is digging, and he hears the smoke monster noises. Man in Black appears for a visit. I was thinking Man in Black and said Man in Black. Ben thinks Man in Black wants him dead. He's like, I'm gathering a group to leave this place for good. But when we leave, we're going to need somebody to be in charge of the island. And he wants Ben for the job. I mean, isn't that is technically what Ben has always wanted.
Yes.
So I could see why he'd be offering him that. I don't think there's any...
It's just a good lure, that's all.
Right. The ankle bracelet falls off, and Man in Lock tells him to go to the Hydra. Says he put a gun by a tree in the jungle. Don't hesitate, she won't. Ben takes off running. He points the gun at her when he gets there, and she asks what he's waiting for. And he just says he wants to explain that he knows what she's feeling. But first, the gun thing. She was running with a gun. Why did she have to put hers down? Why wouldn't she have been holding it up at him before when she sees, oh, there's a gun he's about to pick up?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot him in the back of the calf.
Right.
Right now.
Just right now. Just while I'm running. Or stop and hide behind this tree. And anyway. Right. He says he watched his daughter die and it was his fault. He had a chance to save her, but he chose the island over her, all in the name of Jacob. He sacrificed everything for him and he didn't even care. He's like, I stabbed him. I was so angry and confused and terrified that he was going to lose, that he was worried about losing power, which was the only thing he gives a shit about.
Right.
And but the thing that really mattered was already gone. And he apologizes for killing Jacob. Can you guys walk around? I mean, seriously? You're just busting through. You see we're podcasting. Go. Do something. Maybe shut the door behind you, too. That'd be great.
Get out.
Trying to talk about something serious here. You watch, it genuinely made me cry. When
it
Ben,
was sad.
It was very good. Sad. He watched his daughter die, and it was his fault. Blah, blah, blah. The thing that really mattered was already gone. I'm sorry that I killed Jacob. He doesn't expect to be forgiven because he can't forgive himself. And he says he wants to leave so he can go to Locke. And she's like, why? And he's like, because he's the only one that'll have me. And she says, I'll have you, and walks away. I mean, it was really nice.
It was. I'll have you. She was weird, though.
Right, and then he follows her right back to the beach with a gun right behind her, and she has no worries about it. Yeah, Ben puts the gun down and starts helping Son with the shelter, with the tarp.
The ripped up tarp.
This is actually one of the tarps from the show, from the Lost Beach in season 6.
From the tarp store.
From the tarp store, yes. I'm sure that I filmed that. I hope I did. Me taking the little tarp.
Going to the tarp store?
No, well, there was all the stuff was on the beach when we went.
I feel like we should just open a shop and call it Tarp Store.
Hashtag Tarp Store.
Hashtag Borfer.
Frank built the fire that Miles is so excited about. And he's holding the diamonds, so he had dug them up. So good. Alana is holding Jacob's ashes, and Jack, Hurley, and Richard walk on the beach. Oh, they walk around the corner and show up the way they always do when they return from a whatever. Hurley and Son run and hug. How funny would it have been if she ran past Hurley? I was thinking that would have been fucking hilarious. He's running at her, and then she just runs right by him and goes to Jack. Have you seen Jen? Doesn't even. Oh, hey, Hurley.
Well, I feel like when they turned the corner, they purposely placed Richard Alpert in a place where you could just see the top of his head, so that potentially it could have been Jen for Son. Like when she looked,
Oh. Right, because of he's got similar hair.
And then he showed his face, yeah.
So Jack, speaking of just seeing their face, Jack sees pathetic-looking Ben.
Oh my God, he was so pathetic.
His body posture is all... and then Widmore arrives in the sub.
The beaten dog in the corner, yeah.
Widmore arrives in the sub and looks at them on the beach. Yeah. That was awesome. Then we cut to the jungle where Sawyer's making tea or something for Jen. I don't know what he was making there. It was definitely not just water because it was like brown.
Well, yeah, it would have been tea.
Yeah. Sawyer says he's with Man in Lock to get off the island. And Jen's like, yeah, I don't want to leave because I got to find Son.
Yeah.
Sawyer says he won't leave without her. Man in Lock and his people are back. Saeed, Claire, and Kate are also there. Claire is gathering supplies and looks at the squirrel baby. And Kate's like, what is that? Right. And she's like, it's all a head.
Oh, she's so weird.
No, you made that. You definitely made that.
Yeah, you went and collected that skull, and then you put buttons on its eyeballs. Like, that is some creepy shit.
Why is that not on a shirt?
What?
Can we get squirrel baby shirts?
No.
No squirrel baby shirts?
So gross.
Man in Lock calls a meeting, and he says, look, I know everyone's tired. You all have questions. I'll make myself available to answer them. He's like playing middle management here. It's actually kind of funny, considering where Locke always was in his job. He says they have to keep moving, though, and then Cindy asks about the people left behind at the temple, and he's like, yeah, the black smoke killed them. Totally, all of them.
Yeah, I murdered them all.
Claire takes Kate's hand, which was weird, because this is pre-her attacking her.
Because Claire is weird.
Right, okay, fine.
God.
I'll let you have
and
that
Kate
one.
was like, she's holding my hand.
We're back in.
I guess
we're all good.
everything is okay, even though, like, is she going to want to have sex with me now? Like, why am I still holding her hand? I guess I don't want her to murder me. I mean, it was just so bizarre.
Yeah.
And you could tell how uncomfortable Kate was.
Man in Lock bends down and tells Zach and Emma, I think it was Zach and Emma, that he's going to take care of them. And Sawyer asks about the other people. And Kate asks if Sawyer's with Locke now. He's like, I ain't with anybody, Kate. I mean, I think he was talking specifically about Juliet, but...
Well, it's only been like 3 days since the love of his life was killed, so, I mean...
didn't she die on the first day back on the island? Or is that not how it worked? No, they came back like day 3 or 4, I think.
It's only been a few days.
Right. So Man in Lock leads them to a clearing, says to fill up on water. They might be there a couple days. And Sawyer's like, what the fuck do you mean a couple days?
Right.
Like, he wants to know when they're leaving, and they go to talk in private. And he's like, I wish you hadn't interrupted me. He's like, oh, well, sorry. I must have forgot my manners. Like, just
so
mocking
good.
him. Because why is he being such a bitch there?
Right.
Man in Lock. I wish you hadn't interrupted me.
That was very rude of you
It's
to
so,
interrupt
like,
me.
petty.
Yeah.
Sawyer wants to, oh, wait, let's see. So he asks how he knew to rescue them from the smoke thing. And he's like, I didn't. I'm the smoke thing. It was a cool
He's like,
little
oh,
moment
you
there.
murdered everyone. Perfect.
Yeah. He's like, why'd you kill him? He's like, they're convinced they have to protect the island from me, but I just want to leave. So it's either kill or be killed, and I don't want to be killed. Again.
Right. I'm already dead, but, you know.
Yeah. Van and Locke says Sawyer needs to take the outrigger to Hydra Island. The Ajira plane's there, and he wants Sawyer to go do recon. What if he runs into someone waiting to do him harm? And Man in Lock isn't worried about that. And I don't think it's because Sawyer's the best liar ever, as he says, or the best liar he's ever met, which that's high praise coming from that dude. Coming from Man in Black.
Oh, yeah.
Sawyer's the best liar he's ever met. Now, he could be being a good liar and lying to him, but Sawyer's a great con man.
Yeah.
So that's high praise, because that dude's been around forever and met a lot of different people in all the different, genres, or age, time periods, or whatever.
But he's not worried about Sawyer because he knows that Sawyer's a candidate, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get to. Thank you for bringing it back to that. So on Hydra, Sawyer arrives and he sees the cages and he sees Kate's sundress.
Okay. It's been like years since...
3 years since the cages.
And that sundress is still in fine condition, just a little dirty? I mean, don't you feel like it would be like much more ratted and like...
If there's nobody there and it's literally just sitting, it might be wet. I would think it would have been more wet than it was, but...
Okay.
I don't know. It was sort of in the sun.
I feel like it would have been way faded. I mean, I leave a towel on my back deck for 2 days, and it's got sun fades all over it. It's like a ruined towel because it's been in the sun all day and all night. Like,
I tell you, River has a sundress, but it's got flowers on it. So when I call it a sundress, she goes, "No, it's my flower dress."
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
That's cute.
In the jungle, Kate asks if Saeed believes Locke can get them off the island. Yes. She asks if he's all right. No.
Right.
Claire puts a knife to Kate's throat, and Saeed sits there doing nothing, like no reaction to that.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Man in Lock throws Claire off Kate, and he tries to talk sense into her until he has to slap her, and then he tells her she's acting inappropriately. I mean, great stuff.
Yeah.
It got her fucking attention. God damn it. And he's a black smoke, so it doesn't really matter. Is he technically a man? Probably not. Probably just black smoke. If he could change form again, he'd just change into a woman anyway, so then he could slap her and it'd be no problem, right? I feel like you're texting. So
I feel like I've texted the same word and it keeps autocorrecting this to the different word.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, Mackenzie always needs a ride while we're
as we're podcasting
He's like, right
every
now,
time.
leave now to come pick me up.
No.
No, I can't right now.
Does it keep autocorrecting no to okay?
No, I said text Jer, and then it said text her, and then I typed Jer and then put her, and then I typed Jer again and had to like.
You know you can save words like that.
Yes,
in there?
I just haven't done that yet.
Right. On the Hydra, Sawyer sees the plane, and he notices a path where they drag the lockbox. I thought that was pretty clever. The lockbox, get it?
The box with lock in it.
Yeah, the
lockbox.
lockbox.
Nice.
Hashtag lockbox, LOCKE.
That was terrible.
He finds violent bodies, and he sees someone running, and it's totally Tina Fey. And she plays innocent. She says she's the only one left. Her
That
name's
was
Zoe.
Tina Fey?
No.
No.
She looks like that was
okay.
She
I was
looked like Tina Fey at the time.
Okay.
People just always called her that. So she says she didn't recognize him from the plane, and wrong plane.
Right.
She says they were waiting for rescue. She went out for wood and heard
But was
screaming.
she on the plane or was she?
No,
did
she came with Widmore.
Okay.
They were all dead when she came back, and she asks if he's alone, and he says no. Yeah, I mean, he's no dummy. He's not going to just be like, yeah, I'm totally just by myself.
Yeah, all alone. Just hanging.
In the jungle, Kate is crying by a tree. Claire doesn't like me.
Oh, she wants to murder me.
God. I raised her baby for 3 years, and all I get is almost killed.
God, she's the worst. I'm sorry.
Manilok apologizes to her. He says he lied to Claire about the others having the baby. He asks if she ever had an enemy, someone you needed to hate. Yeah, she had the marshal. Mm-hmm. She had her dad. That she thought wasn't her dad.
And then her mom.
Right, and then her mom, yep. Claire needed something to keep her going, so Manilok gave her something to hate. I mean, good fucking point.
Yeah.
And that makes all the sense in the world. When Kate told her the truth, the anger had to go somewhere. He promised he would keep everyone safe, including Kate. So she asks where Sawyer went, and he offers his hand to show her, and she does not take it, like Aladdin.
Like Aladdin?
Yeah, like, take my hand. And she grabs. Do you trust me?
Oh, yeah.
From Aladdin.
Got it.
On Hydra Island, Sawyer and Zoe talk about the plane. She asks about the pilot, if anybody's seen him, and she asks about how many people are with him and how they got here. She asks if they have guns. Like, could you be any more obvious?
Right.
You're so dumb.
Do you guys have any guns? Like,
can you protect yourself and stuff if we came at you with guns? I mean, if guns, right?
If I throw a stick at you, would you be able to protect yourself? No?
If I throw a stick at you?
She's just so obvious. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
If I happen to be lying to you right now and had a group of people that wanted to hurt you, would you be able to defend yourself?
Is anybody going to miss you if you don't come back?
He asks her where her flight was going, and she says her boyfriend was in Guam, and he knows she's lying. And then she whistles, and some guys come out of the woods with guns, and he's like, take me to your leader. That was funny.
It was funny.
That one guy that came out of the woods.
He was totally on the plane.
He looks like a boy as an adult. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. But wasn't he on the plane with Alana?
No, that was Bram, and Bram is dead.
Oh, he is dead. I forgot. Okay.
He smugly put a circle of ash around himself, and Smoke Monster's just like, I'll just knock the fucking pillar into your circle, dumbass.
Yeah. You gone.
On the main island, Locke sits down on the beach with Kate, and he tells her Sawyer is on the other one. And Manilok wanted to talk. He says he's not a dead man. He knows what she's going through. He says, my mother was crazy. A long time ago, before I looked like this, I had a mother, a very disturbed woman. As a result of that, I had some growing pains, stuff I'm still trying to work through.
Like 700 years later?
I mean, with whom? Who does he get to work it through with, though?
The people that he murders.
What?
Why doesn't he just talk to them instead of murdering them?
Why doesn't he use them as therapists?
Right.
Instead of murdering all of them?
So this one time my mom
This one time at band camp?
And then, so what do you think about that? Like, how should I have handled that situation?
So he says problems that could have been avoided had things been different. And he's telling her because now Aaron has a crazy mother too.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Or he does.
Yes, Claire's weird. On the Hydra Island, Sawyer is being marched through the jungle where they are putting up a new sonic fence. That was cool. New pylons.
Did they bring those with them? Okay.
So what that tells me that I've never connected before is that, what's his name knew about that? Widmore.
Widmore knew about
the pylons.
Yeah.
But they didn't live in them. That was Dharma stuff. So he just knew via Dharma then.
But maybe it wasn't the Dharma. Maybe it wasn't the Dharma that put up the pylons.
Right.
I guess
it could have been Eloise, because she was in the lamppost, and she was also there on the island. They
were adults when he was banished from the island.
Correct.
So, I mean, I don't think that the Dharma Initiative necessarily had... Oh, they did, because in the 70s they were up.
So they take him to the sub-dock, and Sawyer goes inside, and it's very similar to the leftovers that we just podcasted about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy timing.
Yes.
We could have decided to do the leftovers at any time, and we did it right before this episode where they go in a sub.
But this is like Sawyer's, third time in the sub off that dock?
A sub off that dock, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He finds a locked door and asks what's inside. Do you know what's inside?
I don't remember what's inside.
Okay, well, I won't spoil it for you. Sawyer comes in to talk to Widmore, and he introduces himself. No handshake.
Well, no, it wouldn't be. Never mind. I don't care.
What? Is it what?
It's not going to be his daughter. It's not going to be Widmore's daughter.
Correct. You're close, though.
Is it?
Widmore's daughter's...
husband? It's Desmond?
It's Desmond.
Why would he have Desmond?
Because he needs him to fucking go between the afterlife and the present. That's why he puts the fucking coils together, remember?
I don't remember that, but I kind of do.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
So Sawyer comes in to talk to Widmore. They introduce each other. Sawyer knows he's the one who sent the freighter. And Charles says it's sad how little Sawyer knows. Do you think that it's even remotely possible that Widmore's not full of shit and that Ben has clearly been the bad guy and not Widmore the whole time? Like, is that even remotely possible that Widmore is a good guy that was looking out for the island?
It sure as shit doesn't seem like it.
No? Based on what, though?
Just based
on him trying to get Ben out of there, the guy who banished him?
Yes. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there.
First of all, we don't know why he was banished. We're purely guessing.
He was banished because he had a daughter off the island.
But we're guessing on that.
We're not. They said it. He said, you had a daughter with somebody off the island. That's against the rules.
Why?
Because they decided those were the rules.
I mean, that's stupid.
I'm just saying.
Okay, but then why
I'm coming
does
around
that...
to Widmore's not a bad guy.
I mean, every scene that we've seen Widmore in previous, he's been a jerk.
Jerk is not the same as bad guy, though.
But like
somebody
all the
who doesn't
things
have social
he's trying to
graces doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person.
You know what I mean? Like doing all that stuff to, like, Sun hated him, and then sending the freighter to kill everybody.
Sun hated him because he sent the freighter.
Yes, which is legit.
But we don't. But what he just said there was it. Sawyer said, "I know you're the one who sent the freighter." He's like, "It's sad how little you know." So what if there was a different reason that he sent the freighter?
Only because he sent the freighter, and then, but Ben also had somebody on the freighter with all the dynamite.
Michael was the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Michael didn't blow up the freighter. That was the point, was to blow up the freighter before it came to the island. Widmore sent the guys to the island to kill everybody. I mean,
so okay, well that brings up a fucking amazing question. Who set up the C4 then? If Widmore didn't do it, Michael didn't.
We know that Tom put the C4 on the freighter and then got Michael to go on the freighter, something like that, because Tom was off the island with his boyfriend. Remember?
Right.
So first of all, why is that allowed? He's allowed to have a boyfriend off island
because he said, I mean, they're not gonna have kids.
What the fuck ever? Okay.
Are they? Are they going to have kids,
They
Jenna?
could adopt. Okay.
Well, then
yeah,
fine.
They could.
They could adopt.
Actually.
Fine.
So,
I hope they do.
Okay. Anyway.
Tom's dead.
Tom got Michael on the freighter. So he had to have at least arranged for the C4 to go on the freighter.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
And then Michael was supposed to blow up the freighter with the C4. But then Kimi...
No, Michael was not supposed to blow it up. Kimi blew it up.
I understand.
So Kimi had to be involved in the C4
No.
being there. That was his dead man's trigger. He set that shit up. I
But
bet you.
Michael
was
opened the
trying to
thing
save it.
and pressed the button and to blow it up, and that's when that little flag came up and it said "not yet." You don't remember that?
Because he was trying to kill himself. But
he
yeah.
was trying to blow up the freighter.
No, yeah,
he
fair
knew
enough.
that the freighter was supposed to blow up.
But
Kimi-
nobody was on it at that
Kimi
point.
could
I
have
think.
potentially just walked in and saw all the C4 and then went,
But
"Oh,
set
well,
up the
I'll-
dead man trigger.
I'll set up a dead man trigger now."
I guess.
I mean, he was protecting himself in the most psychotic way possible, but he had to have been told to do the rest. He said that this is the whatever protocol, and they like took it out of a thing, and it
Yeah.
was probably like, oh, hey, there's probably some C4, so find the C4 and then murder everybody on the island. So that had to be, Widmore is the bad guy.
I don't think he is. I think that I'm not positive yet because I haven't seen how it ended in a while. But I think I'm coming around to Team Widmore here.
But Ben is.
He was just
Ben
protecting his
ends up
daughter from
protecting the
Desmond.
island. So
Ben
why?
he was protecting his daughter from the island, if you think about it. He was protecting her from Desmond, who went to the island. And, in a way, maybe he knew. Maybe through Eloise, he knew because of the fucking Desmond Hume is my constant shit that she would have seen in the notebook that she could have told him about. So he's like, fuck this Desmond Hume. He is not getting near my daughter. I've never thought of that before.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I
What
guess.
if he did?
It's possible.
So anyway, Sawyer says that they murdered all those people. And he's like, we didn't, but I don't expect you to believe that. He's like, good, I don't.
Well, no, he's talking about all those people that are out in the dead in the jungle right now, though.
Oh, right.
Those are
okay.
all the people that would have just died on the plane, right? The plane crash?
No, they all lived long enough to be killed after the plane crash.
Oh, so he's saying that maybe Man in Black came over and murdered them
Maybe,
all
yeah.
and then left their bodies?
Right.
I don't really believe that, but okay.
So he asks what brought Sawyer to this island. And he says, John... Wait, what?
John Locke sent me.
Yeah, John Locke sent me. Oh, to this island. Got it. I was confused there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it meant when he came back. They both know the guy they're talking about is not really John Locke. And he says, Sawyer will go back, or Sawyer says, I'll go back and tell him the coast is clear and bring him here so you can kill him. And Sawyer just says he wants his people safe and they want safe passage off the island, and they shake on it and make a deal. I mean, again, I think Widmore would be willing to meet the terms of that agreement.
And I
if it worked
also
out
think
the way it
that
did.
Sawyer is totally fine with
Either way.
either way.
Yeah,
He's
setting himself up. Yeah.
He wants to get off the damn island, and he's setting himself up to
Mm-hmm.
get off with either Locke or with Widmore. He doesn't give a shit who.
Sawyer's going to get off with either of them.
Ew.
Well, good thing they shook on it.
You want
Wait.
You want a shirt?
Shake weight. Shake weight. On the main island, Kate wandering through the jungle until Claire apologizes. She says she doesn't know why she did that, and she thanks Kate for taking care of Aaron and hugs her. Weird, but finally a little more normal.
Not really, but okay.
No?
It was weird.
Okay.
I mean, she's been in the jungle alone for 3 years and has gone through a ton of shit. I get it.
Right.
But she's psycho.
Yeah. Sawyer arrives back, and Man in Locke asks how it went, and he says you didn't send me to find passengers from the plane, did you? And Sawyer knows that there's a man who's going to let them get on the plane without a fight. Wait. Sawyer knows that there's a man who isn't going to let them get on the plane without a fight, meaning Widmore. And he tells him that, and he says there's at least 6 armed people with him. There's something on the sub that's locked up. They're setting up pylons. He drops all the information on him. Sawyer tells him what he told Widmore exactly. He says the deal is he gets him off the island. Or, the deal is that you get us off the island to
Right.
Man and Locke. So he has that same deal with either of them. Good stuff. He's good. So this is where Sawyer rejoins the group. It's nighttime. Kate sits by a fire, and Sawyer asks what's for dinner. Rabbit, naturally. And she asks why he's running errands for Locke, and he's like, I'm not. He tells her about Widmore and says they're here for Locke. He's going to let them fight it out, and while they're busy with each other, we're going to leave the island. She's like, you don't know how to fly a plane. He's like, we're going to take the sub. Freckles.
But first of all, does he know how to
Pilot a sub?
pilot a sub? I would think not.
No.
Second of all, I forgot what my second of all was. I had two things in my head. What was the thing that you said before that?
What?
The little last paragraph that you just read.
He's going to let them fight it out, and while they're busy with each other, they're going to leave the island.
No, you said he was here for Locke. Why?
Oh.
Why would he be there for Locke? Why wouldn't he be there for Ben?
But that's who he was talking about with Sawyer. He's like
Sawyer
said that we both know the person I was talking to is not John Locke.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not there for him. I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think he is there for him. I think he's there. I mean, but he knows that
Widmore
he's
really knows the smoke monster?
Yes. That's what I was just going to say. I think Widmore knows that it's the smoke monster. And he knows of it, and he probably has wanted to kill it for a long time.
Okay.
Because I think Widmore's a good guy that had the island's best interest at heart.
But so was
Unless
Ben.
somebody can provide any... Ben had his own interest. They're singing Happy Birthday to Jen's mom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to try not to cry while we finish up the podcast here.
All right. That should be the end of it, right?
What? Oh, no, that's the end of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's good. It was a great episode.
I quite enjoyed this episode.
I watched it a couple times.
Intentionally? Or?
Yeah, because I watched it and then I was like, did I watch the whole thing? And then I watched it again and I was like, oh yeah, I watched it all. And then
oh yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I did. And then
Please don't connect that and the fact that this episode or this show is called How to Watch TV, because clearly she's not quite figured it out yet.
I have not. Although I do struggle a lot with getting it to play from my phone to AirPlay to the TV. So sometimes I'm watching it on my phone and I feel like I just don't really grasp it all because it's so tiny, even though it's on this massive screen.
That's what she said.
This is How to Watch TV.
See you later.
Oh my God.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.